Alright guys, welcome back to Logical Thinking. I know I haven't posted in a while. I've been in the process of transitioning and moving. I'm in a new home. As you can see, I'm not in the apartment complex no more. But today I am doing a review on a 2021 Kawasaki 230 Dual Sport. Now, I originally wanted to get my hands on the 300, but everywhere I looked, I could not find it. I went to multiple places, and from what they were saying, Kawasaki sent out what they sent out. They haven't been sending out anything, and I wasn't able to pre-order it. And even if I could, I probably didn't want to wait that long. I kind of wanted something now because I just moved out here, and there's a lot of trails out here, mostly sugar sand, but a lot of trails out here. And I had my nephew here the other week, and I wanted to ride with him, wasn't able to. So I just wanted to get something and do a sport actually. That way I could drive it on the road because there's a lot of trails that are miles away, and get on the road legally, drive there, and ride the trails. So we're gonna do the review on this 2021 230. So first thing I want to say is that I've already driven her on the highway at 70 miles an hour. I maxed it out at 76 miles an hour, and I can tell you right now that highway speeds are possible. Riding it on the highway is possible, but is it comfortable? Not at all. And maybe short distances, maybe 30, 45 minutes the most. I drove it about an hour away. By the time I was done driving it, I was like, yeah, I don't want to drive it back. So I threw it on a truck and got it hauled back. I actually drove it from the dealership an hour away. My house was actually an hour in the opposite direction from the dealership, so it would have been a 2-hour drive back. So let me grab the key. Excuse the mess that I have in the garage. We just moved in, like I said, and currently remodeling and changing things around. Steering wheel locks, all the way lock position to the left, facing the kickstand. Steering wheel will lock. Unlock it, push down, turn over. Digital cluster, fuel gauge, clock. See, I've driven it about 69 miles. I took it out of the dealership with 1 mile. And to turn it on, make sure your kill switch is down. Make sure it's in neutral. You can turn it on out of neutral, but you just have to hold the clutch. You don't have to hold the clutch if it's in neutral. And starts right up. Very quiet bike. I made the mistake first day having it of leaving the ignition turned over, and I guess somebody turned on the high beams too, so it drained the battery after like 30 minutes. And it was nothing to just have somebody push me, and push started, turned it back on, drove it for a few minutes, battery hasn't died again. I'm 5'11". I weigh roughly 174 pounds, and I can sit on it. Oh. My feet, my left foot flat on the ground, my right foot though, I guess I could put it flat on the ground. It's a little uncomfortable though, so I just stay on my toes. My left foot is planted, and at 5'11", 174 pounds, it fits me fine. Put a RAM mount here to hold my phone, GPS, fuel cap, locks with key, and unlock it. You don't need a key to close it. Actually, you do. Six-speed transmission. Like a lot of people said on a lot of other videos I've seen, the 6th gear is really more of an overdrive. When I'm on the highway, I can pretty much get it to its top speed in the 5th gear. But if you want to save gas and you just want to cruise, you know, lower RPMs, and you throw it in 6th gear. Other than that, 6th gear really doesn't do anything. The ride quality is okay. You know, if you see a quality change, it's because my camera actually died, so I'm taking over with my cell phone. So like I was saying, the quality of the ride is pretty good. The suspension's pretty good. I've only ridden it on the road so far. Today I actually want to take it off-road. But riding it on the road, it feels good, it feels great, stops good, stops great. Front brakes are really good. Back brakes, you know, back brakes do what back brakes do. The front shocks, they absorb pretty well. People say they're really loose, but I didn't really feel too, you know, I didn't feel too bouncy or anything like that. It felt pretty stiff on the road. Like I said, the only thing is just driving it on the highway at 70 miles an hour. You get pushed around by the wind a little bit, but you know, I'm by no means an expert rider. You know, I have experience on bikes. I've been riding them for years. Motorcycles, dirt bikes. But this was my first time ever riding dual sport on the highway. And I would say, like I said, you know, long trips, not really. It handled all right. It can do it. It can do it. But do I recommend you do it? Probably not, unless you're okay with, you know, the wind pulling you and, you know, the extra vibrations, you know, the uncomfortable stance you're going to be in. But for short trips, yeah, go ahead. Why not? Now, I currently live around 2 hours away from the beach. Would I drive this bike to the beach? Absolutely not. I would definitely put it on the truck and drive it while I'm at the beach, not to the beach. So, one little thing about it, I like this little toolkit they include right here on the shifter side, the left side. Just twist this key right here, pull that, and push it to the right, and you have access to your battery, which this should be covered. It's not. And then you have access to a little pouch area right here. You just pull this black rubber piece up, and my toolkit comes falling out. Get a little cubby. It's pretty deep, maybe like 4 inches deep. Comes with a little toolkit, pretty much everything you would need to take this little things, the plastics apart, maybe tighten your chain, stuff like that. I put my registration in here because there's nowhere else for me to put it. All right, hold on, I'll close this. All right, so when you're putting this on, you have 2 plastic clips that you need to make sure they attach. Let me see, where are they? So you got this little clip right here. I'm gonna make sure it goes in there. Let's see if I get a good angle. Yeah, right there. You wanna make sure it goes in there so it's nice and tight. Just give it a good push. Keep everything tight on there. You have another one down here. Same thing, you just push it and make sure it's all good. Nice and tight. She does come with back pegs, so you can ride a passenger on there. There's definitely enough room if you're about my size or smaller to put a passenger on there. Now, One thing I can say that I didn't like was the fuel gauge. So Kawasaki said that this was a 2-gallon tank, and as you can see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bars. So when I drove it out of the dealership, and I drove it about 45 miles, I had 2 bars left. And obviously at 3 bars, you would say that's half a tank, and so forth. So every 3 bars would be 1 gallon, other 3 bars would be 2 gallons. So I was down to 2 bars, and so I stopped. I drove it back to my sister's house from where I originally drove it to, and she was about 15 minutes away. So I stopped and put gas. And when I put gas into it, I only put 0.9 of a gallon. Not even a full gallon, 0.9 of a gallon, and I topped it off all the way to the very top, and it brought me back up to a full tank. So, what I would assume is at 2 bars, it would have needed at least, 1.3 gallons. And it's not much of a difference, but I had more than a whole gallon left. I had more than half a tank left. I would have preferred to have known I had half a tank rather than thinking I had a quarter tank. And that's probably about the only negative I have on it so far. No, I'm lying. The mirrors kind of suck. Can't really see too well through them, especially when you're riding on the highway. You switch your body stance, stuff like that. They're not really too easy to adjust. They're bolted down under here, and they don't really give you too much, maneuverability right here, even though it's on a joint. So that's something that I'm definitely going to change in the future. I seen somebody with a 2020 KLX 230. They used a 450. Can't remember what. They used a 450 windscreen, and it fit almost perfectly on here. A little bit different, but it pretty much had the same curves right here, and it rose to about right there. If you don't ever plan on riding far, then I wouldn't even recommend it. I do plan on taking it places, just not on the highway. I plan on driving it a lot locally, so the windscreen will definitely help me. She's very quiet, not very powerful at all. Very good for beginners. The girlfriend, the wife, whatever, could definitely ride it as long as they can get their feet on the ground, or if they already know how to ride without getting the feet on the ground, even if it's just one leaning it, then they could definitely ride it. Now, even though it lacks power, it does get to 76 miles an hour very easily. You're probably not going to be winning any races on it or anything like that, but it has enough power to get you to 76, and it'll hold it. I drove it at 70 miles, like I said, 70 miles an hour for 40 miles. I've tried seeing if anybody was able to do some tricks on it, wheelies and stuff like that. Couldn't find no videos on that, but so I took it outside myself and I gave it a try. And I could definitely pick her up on first gear, pop the clutch, give some gas, and she's picking up. Maybe somebody who's a lot more skilled, they could definitely get her walking, but I wasn't able to do that. But I know it, I'm pretty sure it's possible just because I was able to get it up pretty high. So the KLX 230 can do wheelies. I've seen a lot of people saying that they can't, but I'm pretty sure it can because I did a little mini wheelie. Walking it, different story. That I'd have to get my cousin over here to try. All the lights work pretty great. The low beam is actually a very good light. The high beam, wasted. When you turn on the high beam, it just shoots up at the sky and doesn't touch the ground at all. Ain't really no need for it. The low beam works great, lights up the whole road. The back brakes work really good. People can see you. A lot of reflectors on it. Turn signals work good, nice and bright. I'm really not even sure which one is the, let's find out. Because I see two bulbs in there. So it's just it's one of those lights that has dual purposes. There's another little light in there. I don't know what that does, but it's there. 21-inch front tire and 18 inches in the back. They come with IRC GP 22s and 21s in the front. IRC trails, yep, GP 222 rear and not 222, excuse me, 22R. And this one is the same thing. IRS trails, GP 21 front. I've seen some people do some modifications to the exhaust on the 2020. Once I learn, you know, get some more facts about it, find out if that's gonna affect any of the mapping, any of the stuff like that, then I'm probably gonna do that myself too, switch the exhaust, because it's just too quiet. And it's very ugly. Somebody on the 2020 did a skid plate, plan on doing that too. So, I mean, only thing left to do is put it on the dirt or the sand and see how she rides. So let's go do that.